Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of our upcoming videos. This is a look at a really special new Casio G-Shock watch. This is a brand new collection called the Casio G-Shock Move, and there's a lot to say about this timepiece. So I'm going to start with a little bit of history before I talk about what this watch does. And to do that, I'm going to bring out this over here. And this is the Casio G-Shock GW-9400 collection Rangeman. This came out several years ago, even though this is a newer version of the Rangeman. This is one of my favorite G-Shock watches of the past decade. I wore the Rangeman so much. The Rangeman was actually one of the first watches to incorporate, or maybe the first one to incorporate, the ABC technology into the G-Shock collection, which previously you only really saw in the Pro Trek, or what used to be known as the Pathfinder models, and that was the altimeter, barometer, compass, and thermometer. And finally Casio said, okay, we're going to put that in the G-Shock collection, and that was the Rangeman. I also happen to think the Rangeman looked really great, just had a great design. A new generation of the Rangeman came out, I want to say about 2 years ago, and it offered something completely different. It was a larger watch. It was I think it was a dive watch actually, and it included a new screen and a new type of system, operating system, and it was just a completely different watch. It had an MIP LCD screen, which was higher resolution. It was solar power charging as well as USB charging because it used a lot of juice. And it was quite expensive. It was a professional tool with a lot of things going on, and it was a niche model because it was large. It was a very specialized type of timepiece, and it was a great experiment for Casio. And then they decided to adapt that into this. And this is the G-Shock Move, and this is the reference GBD-H1000. The specific version is the GBD-H1000-1A7. And Casio took a lot of the best elements of the new Rangeman and turned it into a fitness G-Shock with a heart rate sensor. And so that is something very special. So before I move the Rangeman out of the way here, I want you to look at the design of the watch. And I want you to see how this generation design inspired this watch. And I think that's very important to see where it came along. Okay, so we'll talk about that Rangeman at some other point in aBlogtoWatch coverage. Let's get back to the G-Shock Move here. So what's special about this watch as a fitness watch is that it's a real hybrid between a fitness tracking smartwatch and your traditional G-Shock. It has all the things that a G-Shock is known for: durability, water resistance, just overall, go anywhere, do anything. Like the Rangeman that came before it, it combines solar power generation with the ability to be charged using a connector here that's through USB. Now the good question is why? Why would you want to have two different ways to charge it? Now, that's a very good question. If you're using this watch for fitness tracking and you use the GPS, because this is a GPS-enabled watch, you are going to go through the battery faster than the photovoltaic cells inside the watch can generate electricity. But if you are just using it as a daily timepiece and not using the tracking features, then according to Casio, the photovoltaic cell is going to be more than sufficient to keep the watch powered. So that's really interesting. I want you to also notice that on the back of the watch here, you have a heart rate monitor. And so this is the first G-Shock watch that has a heart rate monitor, and that's a new thing. So you had the triple sensor G-Shocks, you had the quad sensor G-Shocks that add a step counter and also have Bluetooth connectivity, and this is considered a 5 sensor G-Shock because it adds the heart rate monitor, and of course it also has the Bluetooth connectivity. What's important about this watch is that unlike most of the G-Shocks out there, and being an evolution from the recent generation Rangeman, you have an entire new operating system, and it requires a little bit of getting used to. There's 5 pushers around the case, and you can see that the MIP LCD screen is much higher resolution, very, very clear, looks fantastic. Of course, still has a backlight. And this is the default screen. You can change up the default screen there, see different things. One of the things I'm not going to talk about right now in this particular review is what this watch is like to exercise with. I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to follow up either in a video and definitely in a written review on aBlogtoWatch.com about what this watch is like as an activity tracker. Today I'm sort of talking about what it can do in general. So it has GPS, it has a heart rate monitor, it has an accelerometer, and what that means is that it's able to track your workouts and tell you a lot of information about your workouts and things like recovery time. Of course you can tell, so I'll put it on right now. It's not going to be able to know my heart rate unless it's being worn. And it's actually a very new thing for me to have a G-Shock that is able to track my heart rate. I actually like tracking my heart rate a lot. It's important when you're exercising to know if you are in the zone, so to say. It's also good to know if you're stressed out. I think that these days a lot of times people are trying to reduce their stress level, and your heart rate is a very good indicator of what your stress level is. So here we go. My heart rate is not too high at all right now. And you can see what that looks like here. And what's interesting is, like I said, there's different screens that you can use here to see the same piece of functionality. Also, if you go into the operating system, there's a whole new world of things that you can do with this watch. So for example, here's a back button, and there's just a lot of new features here that I'm not even used to yet. So I'm going to hold down this button here. Oh, I guess I just started working out. See, I'm still getting used to this watch here for sure. This color of the watch, there's a few different colors. This is kind of interesting. It has a black case with a little bit of sort of a greenish yellow trim there and a white strap. It's definitely a unique color. There's a few other versions of this watch, but it's very unique, as I said, kind of scheme there that I think that Casio is going for maximum visibility. Here's the compass, for example. And I'm just sort of showing you some of the basic tools there that you have. Again, I haven't gone out into the wild, so to say, with this. But since this is such a new set of screens that I personally am not familiar with in a G-Shock watch, it's just been really interesting to sort of go through this. But this is like learning a whole new world here. So I have so much to learn and appreciate. Again, this is the Casio G-Shock Move. This is the GBD-H1000. It has 5 sensors. So it has the altimeter, barometer, compass. It also has the heart rate monitor, step counter, GPS. It has solar power. You can power it via USB. There's just so much going on here, and I'm really looking forward to really diving into this operating system because I think that this is going to represent what a lot of people are going to be wearing when it comes to G-Shock watches. Thank you so much, and please see the full review on aBlogtoWatch. Oh, and the price is $399.99.